Welcome to P.L. Wooden Exposed. I'm Patrick L. Wooden Sr., the pastor of the Upper Room Church of God in Christ, and I'm glad that you've joined me today. You know, these are extremely exciting times, my friends, and I am grateful to be a born-again believer in a day like today. And I thank you for visiting the website, and I pray that you will listen to what I have to say today and stay engaged and hear with your spiritual ears and watch with your spiritual eyes, because I have something that I want to talk to you about. Dr. John R. Diggs, MD. As a matter of fact, John R. Diggs, Jr., MD. He says this: as a physician, it is my duty to assess behavior for their impact on health and well-being. When something is beneficial, such as exercise, good nutrition, and adequate sleep, it is my duty to recommend it. Likewise, when something is harmful, such as smoking, overeating, alcohol or drug abuse, and homosexuality, it is my duty to discourage it. He said this among many things about the lifestyle of homosexuality, and as we make it legal in North Carolina, and as we become more enlightened and more loving and more accepting, and I noticed this enlightening and loving and accepting movement, it doesn't extend to Christians. I don't know what that's all about, but we love everybody but the born-again Christian. We tell the Christian to shut up and go stand over in a corner. But he had this to say about monogamy. He says, monogamy for heterosexual couples means, at a minimum, sexual fidelity. And there are heterosexual couples who cheat. That's not his point. But the meaning, the worldview, the ideology, the meaning of monogamy for heterosexual couples is, at a minimum, sexual fidelity. The most extensive survey of sex in America found that a vast majority of heterosexual married couples are faithful while the marriage is intact. The survey further found that 94% of married people and 75% of cohabitating people had only one partner in the prior year. In contrast, long-term sexual fidelity is rare among GLB couples, particularly among homosexual males. Even during the coupling period, many homosexual men do not expect monogamy. A lesbian critic of homosexual males note that, and this is what a lesbian critic had to say about homosexual males, and this is a quote: after a period of optimism about the long-range potential of gay men's one-on-one relationships, gay magazines are starting to acknowledge the more relaxed standards of operating here, with recent articles celebrating the bigger bang of sex with strangers or proposing monogamy without fidelity. Now, isn't that some play on words? How can you have monogamy without fidelity? But in the homosexual male community, I guess you can. The latest Aurelian formulation to excuse having your cake and eating it too. I've said it for years, and I've said it before I knew about this study, that monogamy is incompatible with male homosexuality and with lesbian homosexuality. There are exceptions to the rule, but the point is, this is wrong. And judges, you can make it legal, but you can't make it right. It's not a good idea to put children in this environment. It's a terrible idea. It's an ungodly idea. And you know, never be it far from Patrick Wooden to get just a little racial when discussing social issues. Now, I will tell you that Brother Wooden is no racist, but Brother Wooden will get racial at the drop of a hat. I have in my hands here a little article recently in the news. 2 white women sue over sperm from black donor. Now, this is a story that took place in April of 2014, where 2 lesbian women, white women, they got married. Within days of their nuptials, she became pregnant from a sperm donor at a fertility clinic in Canton, Ohio. All right, after becoming pregnant, lo and behold, the lady gives birth. She's 36 and her partner is 29. And they give birth, and the worst thing that could ever happen, the child is black. They thought that the sperm was blonde hair and blue-eyed, but the child was black. And the lawsuit that they're giving seek a minimum of $50,000 in damages. And the attorney said that part of the $50,000 in damage is to pay for ongoing counseling. Now, I find it amazing that the woman can dress and look like a man, get her hair cut like a man, act like she's a man, and expect the rest of society to participate in the charade. Everything about her is a lie. She wears men's trousers. That's a lie because she's not a man. She wears a guy's sweater. That's a lie because she's not a man. She gets her hair cut like a fella. That's a lie because she's not a fella. She wears a guy's button-down shirt. But even that too, this too is a lie because she's not a guy. But she doesn't need counseling. She marries a woman. That's a lie because marriage is a union between a man and a woman, according to the God of the Bible and all of the major religions of the world throughout all of human history until of late, since society has become enlightened. But she marries a woman, and she doesn't need counseling for that, even though that too is a lie. I hope that we don't have little children watching this, and if we do, parents, please remove them from the room for what I'm about to say. Nothing too graphic, but I would rather for you to explain these things to your child when you're alone with your child. So let me count down to 10, and by that time you will have put little Johnny or little Susie out of the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready? Okay. She can have a woman to put her head down between her legs and perform oral sex with her, and she doesn't need counseling. Go to the store and buy a dildo and strap the thing on and take an artificial man-made penis, strap that to herself and have sex with a woman. No need for counseling. But when a dark-skinned baby exited her womb, she needs to have counseling to get her head examined. My Lord, you mean to tell me you need counseling because you gave birth to a black human being, but you don't need counseling to do all these other things? You're walking around with men's shoes on, a guy's underwear. Well, you probably changed, you probably have to go back to the old way when nature takes her course once a month. I guarantee you that must be a tough week. But you don't need counseling for any of those things. But when you give birth to a black child, where you went to a sperm bank to get sperm from a stranger, and you needed sperm because you married someone who produces no sperm. 2 egg producers marrying each other. 2 vaginas marrying each other. And unless you've had an operation to have it removed, 2 sets of breasts marrying each other. And you don't need counseling for that. You walk like a guy, you talk like a guy, but you're not a guy. And you don't need counseling for that. But let a little Sambo, let a little darky, let a little black baby hold. There's nothing wrong with the child. Let that baby come out of your warped body based on your warped, godless behavior, and you need counseling. Now, if you're black and watching this, you ought to be as incensed as I am. It's an insult. Let me tell you something, lady. There's nothing wrong with that baby. If anybody, if anyone is going to need counseling, it's going to be the child. When that baby asks, where is my daddy? Where did I come from? What are you going to tell him? And I don't know. I'm not following the story. I don't know if they're going to keep the baby, put the child up for adoption, which I hope they do. But any way you look at it, for that little child, there's a whole lot of counseling in the child's future. I wish, I pray that some good spirit-filled family, doesn't matter to me whether they're black or white, does matter that they're heterosexual, would get that baby and love that child and love them with the love of God. You need counseling, all right, but not for giving birth to a black baby. You need your head examined because despite the biological makeup of your body, despite everything you see in the mirror, despite everything that is true about you, you've succumbed to a voice in your head that makes you behave as though you are a man. You've succumbed to urges in your flesh that your spirit, neither your intellect, could overcome. You followed instinctual, low-level human drive. And you felt no shame when you found someone who was willing to be pronounced wife and wife, or spouse and spouse. But you need counseling because you gave birth to a black child. I'm out of here.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.